All right, let's see if we got this finally working. Looks like we did. All right. Well, sorry for the delay. Both delays, both the delays since I've been last on, and the delay in trying to get this up by 10, which is the time I usually try to start this, or 11, or it depends. But I am back, and I think everything is working. Let's make sure that it's actually up on the channel. Looks like it is. All right, great. So anyway, as I said many weeks ago, I'm off work for Thanksgiving the entire week, and my goal is to complete one of the larger projects I have remaining in my early years of rail digital photography edit sessions. And that would be a trip I took to St. Louis in 2005. This set of photos has a lot of neat stuff, especially from the old Alton, when they still had the CPLs. I'm trying to get this together into, due to COVID, I'm going to have less days to do this. I'm not quite sure. I might have to put some of this off, but I'm going to see if I can get it all in. Not sure I'm going to be able to, but we will see. So these streams are going to be a little longer. I'm going to try to go fast through some of them. It's going to be at least 5. I'm going to be at least 5 days, and if I have to finish this off on a 6th next week, then so be it. But anyway, enough preamble. This is a St. Louis trip I took with my girlfriend at the time, kind of part way. I went out on the Cardinal. She was already there with her family, and we came back via the Texas Eagle and the Capital Limited. I went out on the Cardinal and then Texas Eagle coach, then came back on a sleeper with her. Wasn't going to try to make her do coach. And honestly, coach in the Cardinal is one of the worst Amtrak experiences I've ever had. But we will get onto that later. But I will get into things as they go, and let's just see. I think everything's working right, and let me just, oops, wrong thing. There we go. And yep. Thanks, Brian, for the comment that everything's working right. So anyway, I'll get this going. So part of the issue now, this is a common issue today, but one of the issues with the Cardinal back in 2005 was that it would run with the sleeper on the back, especially on the single level things. And this was now everything runs with not only a sleeper but a baggage on the back. But the Cardinal was run with a sleeper on the rear, and the sleeper was always very expensive. I didn't have a lot of points back then, and it was still just ridiculously expensive to do it. 3 days a week. A lot of people would take the, Cardinal would, they would say that each seat would fill 3 times on that train. But Amtrak really didn't like it. It's required to run it via some sort of congressional legislation. Anyway, I had not done a lot of long distance Amtrak back then. I did some. I had taken a trip so far out to Topeka, Kansas back in the film era. I'd taken a number of trips to Chicago. But besides from going out to Topeka, this is going to be my first real Amtrak long distance adventure. DC to Chicago to St. Louis. And I had some experiences with going out to Cleveland or Chicago, sometimes in a sleeper, sometimes not. And the Cardinal is almost 24 hours. It's ridiculously long. It is not meant to go from end to end. That is not the market. It's meant to serve Cincinnati, Indianapolis, a whole bunch of places in between. But if you're going from DC to Chicago, take the cap, especially in coach. The Cardinal is just not set up for that. It takes 8 hours longer than the other thing because it just meanders. Now it's a neat route, especially eastbound is way worse than westbound. Sorry, westbound is way worse than eastbound. You're getting the sun setting by the time you get to the mountains. You're going through all the neat stuff in darkness. You get to, you go to sleep before you get to the C&O main line, and you wake up a little past Cincinnati. So you've missed everything interesting. I did not. I just wanted. It was one of those things of like, oh, I'll take it. I'll see what's up. Anyway, this is the, you'll see. I take a total of like 20 photos going out, and for my current, normally this would have been like a 700 photo thing. There was just nothing to do out the side window. It is an absolute waste, especially with the baggage on the back these days. Not a fun route. You're gonna pay more and see less. So anyway, here we are leaving DC. This is one of the only pictures I have of CP Virginia with the position lights on it before they went down. This is just one of those things that are in the 2003, 4, 5 time frame. I should have gone out to DC and gotten pictures of them when they were accessible from the LaFont Plaza on the other end. But I just waited too long, and they replaced them with Darth Vader's pretty early on, and they were really neat too with how intense they were for VRE, trains coming in from Virginia. So here's just a quick little thing I have of the PL gantry there, coming off the old Landover line, which is now a major CSX route. So this is, time passes, and we are now on the C&O Washington sub at the G Tower, where the G Tower is. It's the Y between the route down to Doswell, the route up to Orange, which is the Washington sub. The Washington sub is terribly slow. So currently the Cardinal will go down the southern main line that's fast. Hits Orange, Virginia, splits off onto the C&O route, 40 miles an hour, goes down to G Tower. It just crawled. And then it's 60, and it goes all the way to Charlottesville, where it crosses the southern main line. If they are able to, with all the billions that that the state of Virginia is spending on stuff, if they put in a connection at Charlottesville, and we'll get there anyway, they could easily cut half an hour off this train for the price of 2 switches and a connecting track. It's one of Cardinal's a low investment route, but there's no reason that the Cardinal should be running its C&O line from Washington there. It's absolutely useless. Anyway, this is the train order semaphores at G Tower. I have better photos of them when I went to G Tower. But, these are the ones that are here. I am going to do a quick... Maybe this is some photos that I discarded back in the day. We're going to have to see. Anyway, these are just the train order masts. Huh. Oh, looks like I can't really resize them at all. They're already at the maximum size. Anyway, yeah, this is the G test. So I didn't even save this back in the J. We'll just start getting... Sorry if this... sometimes this stuff starts... What the heck is going on? Come on. There it goes. G Tower is in Gordonsville, Virginia. And I'm getting the old, doesn't want to save anymore. There it goes. I do have some better pictures of it, like this one. One of the issues back in the Amtrak, and still today, there was especially bad in 2005, was that they did, for a variety of fairly good reasons, but they do the whole sheep herding thing where it's like, all right, here's your crappy ass assigned seat, and then they throw someone next to you. Now I know, like, it's in 2005, like today, it's like, yeah, that they're limited seats. They need to know where people are so they can get them off in the middle of the night. In 2005, there weren't a lot of people on this train at all. But the Texas, this train actually maybe had a fair number of people, but it still wasn't. Amtrak was still coming out of its 90s slump. So you would have the situation where you had a lot of empty seats in the train, but they were still jamming people all together despite all the empty seats, which was just ridiculously frustrating. I got sat next to someone that was, I think I've been sat next to worse, but it still wasn't anyone that like I was ever going to have a conversation with. At least I could sort of be to myself, but they still wedge in next to people. This might be a great time to do. With COVID, that's one thing. They're not going to sit you next to someone random, especially overnight. Oh God, coach by yourself overnight in Amtrak is just yay. You sit next to random stranger, really creepy. Wasn't a fan, but again, that was sort of like schoolboy error. You don't know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know until you know you don't know it. Just another, again, tower, pictures of G Tower. I think I had to have been aware that G Tower was a thing, and I was looking out for it. It's still there. You could look in the top. There's the interlocking machine's not there anymore. Probably would have been a USNS Model 14. Going to be a bunch of red tint on this stuff just due to the Amtrak windows. I got out here this is the summer of 2005, in case I'm not sure I said that. And I eventually visited again, I think in 2012, something like that. Maybe a little earlier, like 2010. I'm going to be renaming most of these photos because they really need it. They don't fit in with all my stuff. Maybe I called it G Cabin instead of just G. Let's see. Oh, there it is. These are all these pictures I've took. There it is, the GT. So, yeah, I need to rename that. This was also, these photos that I originally took were at the height of me using the clarify filter that just sort of washed everything, not increasing the saturation. So I'm really glad to be getting to it because so many of these photos were arguably, were not good. It's not really the front of G Tower. See, I did take the Cardinal a bunch of times, but I wised up and started going via getting sleepers on it. Here we go. That's not what that is, but whatever. Generally have good photos of all of this stuff. Incidentally, so this is still all like Buckingham Branch type things. Now, it's all been resignaled, but at the time, it was a really neat CTC installation. And I'm really pissed off because I had audio of the 504 code stuff going nuts in there in one of these relay cabinets. And due to a transcribe error, the video got corrupted and I lost it. I have the corrupted video, but I don't know I should look at it with a hex editor or something. It could just be, there could be data inside. I don't know what's up. So here we are. This is the crossing of the Southern in Charlottesville with the old mast there. And like I said, it could easily save a good half an hour, if not more, than the current route, just meandering here, there, and everywhere. There's a connection there towards the left, but a train, your train would have to hand operated switch, pull off, reverse. It's they need something in there. Now this is where I have to go and find one of my Charlottesville photos. Have to find where one of those are. Shoot. It could be this one. Manassas. Now it's before that. Sorry about this. It's H-line stuff. I used to go to ride the southern route twice a year. One in April and yeah, this is where it comes off in Orange and rejoins the Southern Main Line. And I got the photos. I rescued the photos from the corrupt card, but I couldn't get the video. So I have the video. I think it's just something wrong with the video file. I should try to find someone who can help me out with that. But somewhere I'm sure that I would have. Here we go. This is it. Yeah. Come on. Like, yeah, there's Roanoke and everything. I just need to find where the Charlottesville is. Ty River, Oak Ridge. There it is. JC. That's it. It's called JC Cabin. Yes. Yeah, this is a way better picture. You can see the Charlotte. It's an oblique angle diamond. JC Cabin. That's what it's called. So anyway, this is just my worst picture of it's just when you do it with these. Oh God, it's just. All that time to get the proper name for a terrible photo, but that's not there anymore. It's all been resignaled. Now here's something interesting. I was trying to do some prep work ahead of time, so I wouldn't have to bore you with it. This is like a random photo of this would have been in like not Stanton, Virginia, something else. Maybe it is Stanton. I gotta go to the. I'm gonna go to the doohickey here. It's Orange, Gordonsville, Charlottesville, and yeah, it is Stanton. So I took this picture in Stanton of these two Jeep conversions, probably a GP8 or 10 or 11. the chop nose, whatever they've done with the rebuilding the prime mover. And I zoom in and I see them as CRIV number 1821 and number 1819. I searched high and low for that reporting mark. Something called like the Gauley Railroad, which should make sense. I think Gauley River is something I've seen that involved, but I could not find pictures of these or find that reporting mark or anything. So I'm just going to say it looks like CRIV 1821 and 1819, but I can't find out who this belonged to or what. I can do some more searches, but I ran out of time because when I was looking for the search, then my XSplit stopped working, and I had to fix that, and that's why I was late. So, and it's in Stanton, Staunton. Staunton. So, this is somewhere. So that's Indianapolis, and that's what I was going to get to. I've already prepped work on that, but this is... I do not know where this would be. I forget how late we were. Whatever it was, I wasn't too worried. Because this was due to get in at like 8. And... even if we were super late, the Texas Eagle was leaving at 2, so we would have had to been something like 6 hours late. I think we were late, but we weren't that late. I have no idea where the heck this is, so I'm not gonna care. It looks like it's at Russell Yard, but that would have been in the middle of the night, and I don't know. And this is before Indianapolis, so maybe it was Cincinnati. But if we were in Cincinnati this early, I don't know. It's probably Cincinnati. It's one of their AC 4400s with the radial trucks that I think they still have. I was going to say Cincinnati. Close enough. Oh, you know what? I probably just put the... I'm sure that I didn't put anything extra on that. Anyway, here's something I found. This was cool. This was coming into Cincinnati. It's on the Indianapolis sub. I even pulled up the milepost. This would have been at mile 123.0. And this... Where is that? Yeah. So, this is 2019. It's long gone. But if you go back on Street View all the way to 2009, they did manage to catch it. It's an old B&O signal bridge here coming into Indianapolis at milepost 123 on the Indianapolis sub, the old Monon route. This is the one that had all the semaphores up until about 2010. And so anyway, I got this nice shot of it here. Gonna try to adjust it up. So like I said, I did some prep work so I didn't get stuck trying to pull stuff, trying to get too much, trying to do live research. So I do even have the Indianapolis sub. Yeah, I would have loved to. I really should have done more on this route, but the issue is you come into Indianapolis very early in the day. Another interesting thing that I saw was this DTC sign, which is no longer there since around 2010 or so. CSX axed their whole DTC system. For people who don't know, direct traffic control was an early version of it was sort of a hybrid of train orders. I mean, it wasn't even a hybrid of train orders. It was just sort of like the first foray into direct, DTC is basically instead of a train order operator passing you, a dispatcher talking to a train order office who would then provide the train with the train orders. DTC is just the dispatcher directly controls the train, direct train control, and that was simply by you had predetermined blocks. Dispatchers would give radio authority to enter blocks. Trains would, as they would pass these signs, they would then release the block. Very simple. But there was a lot of resistance to it. A lot of resistance back in the old days with the operators said it was was claiming up, down, left, right, and sideways how unsafe that was. Mainly probably because they knew that it was going to mean the end of their jobs. Here we are coming up on IU Tower. Let's see what else we can got here. So that's State Ave. So there's one other crossing that I can go. I think there's one other crossing. I'm not really good at my Google Earth on finding the. I'm sure that signal is gone, but I'm not entirely sure where it was. It's near I'm looking at that factory. There's the interlocking limits. Question is that the factory? Well, we can find out. No, wait, is it? No, that's not it. It's a low roof building. So got to back it up a little bit. Where could that be? That I'm seeing a second signal bridge. Not there. Could be that guy. Once I find the right building, then there it is. That's it, right there. So let's. This clearly has this street view here is not going to give me any options. But here I got options. And I can go back. There it is. It's there in 2007. Wow, look at that. 2009. And whoop, there it's gone. That's a shame. Well, we know when it was there. So here, this has to be the old signal bridge into IU. So where this is right there, and the current interlocking boundary is there. So that was clearly the well, let's see if it's what it is, north-south. It is east-west. So westbound signal bridge for off the into IU. Just there we go. Definitely. So actually, that yeah. IU old. So I said this was Monin, but this line coming in was clearly B&O, so I'm not sure what happened there. There might have been some weird trackage arrangements, or maybe, I don't know. Oh no, Monin, I forget, whatever. So I definitely, with IU Tower being demolished fairly recently, last year, or this year, one of these years. Yeah, see, this is the signal into coming into IU. Got some Indianapolis skyline going on there. Color balance. Okay. The good thing is I have the interlocking chart already up. IU was an interesting thing that the tower was built in 44 with this massive 100-something lever union switch and signal machine. When that was removed from service, they replaced it with an all-relay plant. It was one of those things where I think that, with a unit lever machine, and at some point they just like kicked the operator out and remote controlled it, and that whole setup was still there until they re-signaled it, and they demolished the tower either this year, I think in May. The tower got demolished, but until that point, if you went up there was still like a union switch and signal like unit lever machine, and you could just like take control. You could just play around with stuff. This is. Yeah, B&O to Hamilton, Ohio. So I thought that was the Monon line because it had those semaphores on it, but I might be thinking of something else. Oopsies. So this would be the 14W-2 signal. I'm going to be using the Conrail thing. Some of them have lever numbers, some of them don't. I'm going to use the Conrail style. IU 14W-2. So that's the first 12. I know that took a little longer than I thought it would. But there's preamble and stuff in there. And again, this is my trip to St. Louis in 2005. Yeah, I have more pictures of IU than I have of like everything between DC and Indianapolis. It just shows you the futility of this trip. In coach, no rear view, sandwiched into a single seat. Just awful. I want to capture a lot of this photo, but there's not a lot. I want to get a good. One of the other interesting thing on this is that he said when I said this is the original signaling they had, so they closed the Model 14, but it still used a lot of these USNS N3 dwarfs. They also had virtual heading on these. So like this one signal, so it's red on top, then yellow, then green. So you could have red over yellow for restricting. In theory, you could have a red over green or flashing red over green for your medium clears or medium approaches. These could be done like that, but I don't think they did. So anyway, let's see what I can do with this. I want to get rid of some more red out of there. There we go. So this would be the 14W-1 dwarf. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I should probably check the chat, see what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. Which one is it? There it is. Yeah, the Cardinal, if you're in a sleeper and you can take pictures out the back, is a great trip, and I did that from then on. But in coach, it's terrible. Huh, what's with those weird lights in that building? What's going on there? That's strange. Well, good news is that I should still be up on the... on the overhead. So IU interlocking is still kind. Oh, it's a helipad for the hospital system. I was like, that looks like some sort of weird helipad. But it looks like whatever building was there is not there anymore. Huh, that's strange. Unless I'm looking at that. Yeah, it's far in the distance. Anywho, those would be the signals that are right in there, or were right in there. Oh, no, looks like they've moved them up. Another neat thing of IU that it was all pneumatic, and we're going to see that in just a second. But anyway, go back to my cheat sheet. That's going to be your 4W and 2W-1 dwarfs. Yeah, and I'm definitely taking the time to relabel all of this. Let's just keep going with the color balancing here. Little backlit now. I'm somehow going to get multiple sides. I was, maybe the person they slapped me next to moved, or maybe I went to the dining car. I don't know. I forget how I was managing this. 4W plus 2W-1. It's like, so here we have the 11B switch, and that would be located 17, 15, 11B. So that's probably the one serving, maybe, no, it could have been on that track to take that picture. Yeah, they crossed us over to the station track. So we went over on the 15A. I was going over 13A. There's the 11B A5 switch machine. Again, I'm going to try to get rid of some of this red. Got some purpleisms going on here. I'm not going to do anything to this, just do a quick resize and name. 11B switch A5. Don't care. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to be going there. I'm not going to be able to do any of this, so. Here's the 11A with the points and the heaters, the Conrail style shroud heaters. I forget where I've been to some places where those have been around. Incidentally, I was out today doing stuff, and I got into another closed tower. Details to follow. Check my Twitter, which I should have done the tweet, but I didn't have. I got something else coming up. Oopsies. I've been getting into a lot of closed towers this year, or at least 2. But I thought I got into a 3rd, but I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was because in the Tennessee Pass I got into an abandoned relay hut. We got A5, or the CP valve, plus the A5 point machine, plus the points, plus the heater. This is going to be in the westbound angle. Done. Try to blast through some of these quick. Here we have the Y tracking. See IU tower there. I'm going to just keep this whole thing here. Let's see if I can put this together using my chart. This is for multimodal by the way. This is the Indianapolis Division Conrail interlocking sheets. Yeah, there we go. That's the 76R signal and the something else. Some of them don't actually have. Okay. Oh, that's right. That outer one has different stuff. I should be using the 34RB and the 32RB for those previous dwarfs. I'm going to rename that. I'm going to use tower ones where I can. 32RB plus 34RB dwarfs. And then this would be the 76R, and it was likely the 60L. 60L, 76R. What was that other one? 76R. See the airline, all the neat stuff in here. Yeah, I didn't have these resources when I was putting this together. That's calling that the 8W. Yeah, see, this one it's not marking it. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the... Yeah, see, there's your 68. The original. Let's see, it was cast into it, too. The original lever number. Was that 68? Looks like 68. Yeah, it's not labeled. So 2E, so that R... Is that 76? I don't know. It looks like 68. I don't know where the hell that one is. 8E. That would be 8W. So now I'm having three things telling me the three different lever numbers for that same switch. I like using the lever numbers where I have them. So, sorry, what is that? That's going to be the 62L and the 76R. Yeah, even if numbers are cast into the top, signals always could have been moved around, or as things were, cut down and changed. So that's not always a fully valid thing to do. 76R, 62L. There we go. That is the 5 switch. That's a 10. That's a, according to the chart, that's number 10, which means a 15 mile an hour. Don't want to cut off too much. And look at that beautiful P. See, that's so IU, the Indianapolis Union Station, it's IU, it says that for a reason. It was a true Union Station. You can notice it was mainly served by the New York Central, but the PRR came in there, the Monin, B&O, so that's why you're going to see things like PRR railing, despite this having a big New York Central presence. The whole, eventually Conrail would just adopt the New York Central route, or most of it. But this was a rare PRR style interlocking in the heart of New York Central Territory. But it wasn't truly. It was almost like the Tower A2 coming out of Chicago. PRR influenced, but not really a PRR tower. I think it was its own company and everything. Ugh, keep forgetting where all this stuff is. There it is. Next. Finally, we have IU, the air compressor plant, some nice cabinets in the foreground. That is an absolute crime that they demolished that. Beautiful tower, brick, slate roof. Just heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, there's not much you could really have done with it. I mean, it would have made for a great museum. If I go to my overhead, wherever that is, as we go down in here. See, it's this whole thing was this. You can see the size of Indianapolis Union Station if this reloads. Yeah, right there. The whole thing. No, only 2 tracks are used, but you would have had this whole area was just, you know, a big mishmash of the fan of the tracks. The tower picture is still here. Yeah, there's the platform that everything was on. The tower is in the middle of it. So there's, unfortunately, you know, with all this development, there's really no way that you could have had that become, if this tower was located like there, if it was just moved 100 feet north, I bet that they could have done some sort of preservation thing with it. It could have been turned into a bar, or they're planning that stuff for like CP Virginia or Union Station's K Tower. Very trendy area, very hip. But it's just in the middle of the tracks, and they couldn't. There's no way that they could have had that be, you know, available for use. Notice, you know, the compressor hut there and everything. So what was probably keeping it from being demolished is the fact that up until, you know, within the last 10 years, it was still used as the relay hut and the compressor building. I think I got a couple more. That's going to be there's your tower. Mystery switch. Strange. There's clearly a switch there. Oh, it's just diagrams. Bad. Wait, what? Or something's bad. Oh, they just did a consolidation. Yeah, they kind of got rid of that 3rd track because they just wanted both. Yeah, they also rationalized this, but there's nothing there. Huh. You got that track, we got that track, and then there's some sort of like seldom used switch coming off of it. That's really puzzling. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, maybe they'd already rationalized it by the time I was there. Whatever, I'm not going to mention it. It's not really important. Let's do a square aspect ratio. Color balance. Get rid of the red. See, terrible window glare too. Not fun. Oops. Yeah. Don't make sure I'm oversizing this. Nice IU, angle of IU. The windows in IU are like always open, and surprisingly, because of how it's sort of situated on this plinth in the middle of the interlocking, it was generally free of vandalism and harm. So it was in remarkably good condition until the point they demolished it. I think there was an extra switch there, or maybe they're putting it. I don't know. That's just very strange. That's not on the chart, but it's there in 2005. And here we have the one switch. I think Indianapolis has probably seen a lot of downtown urban renewal since I took these pictures in 2005. Looks like a very happening place. Unfortunately, someone that I vaguely, someone someone I knew online who actually got me photos of IU Tower. You might have seen in my blog post, was struck and killed by a hit and run driver about a month ago, which is super sad. There's the 5 switch. So he seemed to love Indianapolis. And we're through. So this is actually a view from the... So the Cardinal, it's sort of confusing. As it leaves Indianapolis, it goes onto the old PRR route, goes sort of south of the city, then sweeps back up and over the Big Four New York Central line. There were 2 interlockings on the PR that would give access to the New York Central line. I'll pull this up. So don't need that really anymore. Here we go. And go the old Wikimapia train route. So Cardinal comes out of Indianapolis Union Station right there. Goes south out of the city past CP Woods. This is actually all went to CSX Holt. There was a tower. There's a famous tower, a tower, well-known rail tower there. Now, the PR line, there was a line that kept going to the south, but that's been abandoned. So instead, you make a sweeping turn to the right, up and over the Big Four. There were 2 interlockings there. South Hunt, North Hunt, and then they join in with whatever was down there, which is going to be on the Indianapolis line. So now I can pull that up. So that's just sort of this weird, how railroads evolved leads to this very inefficient route coming out of Indianapolis. Something as I would occasionally, twice I took the Cardinal to get C&O photos in the early 2000s. And you would lose light it was dark by then. But when I was in the sleeper car, you could pop the window on the sidecar. Even though I couldn't take pictures, it was always fun because you'd leave the DTC territory up here. There's an interlock in Claremont that had position lights. You'd stick your head out the window and see the position lights go past. Then you come down here, you'd stick your head out the window, see the position lights go past South Hunt, North Hunt. There's an intermediate somewhere in there. And then you're back onto color lights here at CP Holt and CP Wood. So, Wood or Woods? Woods. It was fun, even though I could never get photos of that. Now, if it was today, I could have done a video. I would have done a video of that, but I didn't have that facility. My camera was 480p back then, or 640 by 480. I'm going on and on here because what I need to do is I need to pull up that Great Lakes. I need to find the Indianapolis line. Indianapolis line sub. Oh, shit. Indianapolis line sub. Indianapolis line sub. Come on. What's it connecting with an IU? It is Indianapolis terminal sub. All right. Line. Indianapolis terminal. Here it is. That is CPMY. So, yeah, it comes out CPIU IJ. Interestingly enough, the other side of the Indianapolis Union Station was done by switch tenders until it was CTC'd. Because it was during World War II and they ran out of money. So, I don't need that much junk on the top. Yoink. Let's see what I can get off of this. Yeah, I'm just going to do a quick sharpen. All right. Got that done. We really need to... Sorry, I'm not speeding this up. I'll see what I can do. So, like I said, you know, scene missing. And let's see where we're going to start up again. So, this is the signal at North Hunt. And I can probably find that in my Indianapolis track charts. Roll up. CP North Hunt. Holt. North Hunt, page 99. Yeah, there's North Hunt, South Hunt. That would be the 50L. Ah, good old CTC machines. M2 switches. Wow, you don't see those a lot. This dates from 99. Wow, 514 code system. I wonder if this was stayed that way. By the way, these track charts have phone numbers for every interlocking hut. I'm sure they would have worked back then, but I'm wondering if if those numbers would still work now. You can go on multimodal ways and give them a call. M2 switch machines are super rare these days. I don't know if I wouldn't know where any of them are. I fortunately have a picture of one at the aforementioned G Cabin in Gordonsville, but it got removed shortly thereafter. Yeah, Claremont was where it runs into, you know, that's the Crawfordsville branch is where it goes. M2 switch machines. Wow. Damn, I didn't know that. Anyway, so that's the 50L signal at CP North Hunt. Get rid of some of that purple. There we go. Yeah, this would have. I think this is at Monin. No, it's at something that begins with Reh. I have no clue where this is. Wow. Oh man. I'm gonna have to solve this mystery offline. But this is gonna be. Do I have what sub is that anyway? It's like the Dyer sub. I don't think it's on here. Crawfordsville, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Louisville, Nashville. Crawfordsville branch. Let's see what it pulls into. Crawfordsville. So there it is. At Claremont, it leaves Indianapolis terminal. And it would have turned up onto the Monin sub, and I don't know what division that is. Probably Chicago. Fortunately, I know that I have it. And so here's something that's interesting. So I took this in 2008. And if you go to the Mon and sub here, I'm pretty sure it's in their Chicago division. Let's see. Monon, there it is, page 65. Ludington, okay. So Monon sub, old Monon Railroad, it's still kind of run under this TWC. It's basically rules 271, ABS without traffic control. What they did, what the shame of this, again, remember it's like that bit of NS. Between 2005 and 2008, CSX lowered the speed from 80 miles an hour to 60. Easily costing trains 20, 30 minutes. So it's the car. When I was on the Cardinal on this route, I actually got a nicer run on it. Oh, I gotta find the Lafayette sub because that's what it starts on. Oh, there you go. Solved my problem. This is Reynolds. Crossing the TPW. See, I can see right there that says meh. So there you go. It's Mon and sub Reynolds. Oh, solved that problem. I've had some opportunities to get rear photos on the Mon and sub. Often they'll put a Indianapolis coach on the back behind the sleeper, and I have taken pictures there, but they were early, about 2010. Didn't have the greatest zoom. It was an open platform Horizon car, which was sort of fun, depending how they let you sit there. On in sub. The question is, which way am I looking? All right. All right, come on. Just got to find Reynolds. Indianapolis. Lafayette. It's always such a pain. Dyer, there's the crossing. Coming down. See, I gotta get to Lafayette. Oh, there it is. Because it makes the turn in Monon. There's Reynolds. And that would be looking west. Yeah, my seat was west. There's the water tower. There's the crossing. Right there. Yep, and that's how you identify stuff from 15 years ago. Reynolds, TPW, westward. We got the Dyer Amtrak station. Dyer is interesting when if you're on the Cardinal and you leave Chicago, there's a ton of there's so much freight interference or the potential that if you get out without any interference, you sit at Dyer for 20 minutes. They have this 20-minute smoke stop there. So I have all these pictures of the train just waiting around in Dyer, Indiana. The station, as far as I'm concerned, is still that crummy. Also, yeah. Keep in mind that there was no more, even before the COVID, there was no daily service to Indiana because, the state got super Republican and they canceled the train, the daily Indianapolis to Chicago train. So there's that. Yeah, Dyer is right there. I think the biggest stop on that train was Dyer because it was a de facto sort of commuter line for this area. Dyer was right after it pulled off the GTW. Right There's the GTW pull-off, and the station was usually somewhere right in there. It's still there. Just got to find it. There it is. Dyer Amtrak station. Oh, no, they built a nicer shed. They did make it nice. Yay. So anyway, this is like your level 0 Am Shack. Not the nice Am Shack. This is like the legit Am Shack. I'm sure that there's got to be some stations, some legitimate like this kind of Am Shack, in various places. Oh, hey, we're at Dalton Junction, now demolished, but and I physically went to Dalton Junction. I visited in person. I have a number of photos from this train using the opposite direction, but this is the first ones I got, so I was on the ball enough to do that. So give me a second, and from here I can pull up D. Yeah, I got a bunch of Dalton Junction photos. But there it is. These would be the first. So yeah. Just the color balance. Whew. Oops. Yeah, I can see why I did that clarify filter. Does help out to a degree. Dalton Junction was, although heavily modified from its original state, housed a like 170 something lever, Saxby S&F frame. It was easily, I mean, now with the closing at Delray, which was the last mechanical frame left in operation in the country. Dalton Junction was before that by far, one of the was second or third to last, and easily one of the, it was if there was going to be a big one left, if there was going to be if you had to pick one to have left, it was this one. But again, IHB got on the ball or got an agreement with whatever railroads were around to pay for redoing the interlocking, and they did, and they demolished this. Really shy. Dalton Junction. I have things on it. It had something like 17 diamonds. People would say that there was a symmetry to at one end of the bar yard, IHB, whatever their yard complex is. At one end you had Blue Island with all its diamonds. At the other end you had Dalton Junction with all its diamonds. It was sort of they're very complementary. So there we go. Am I making a mistake here? This is all Dalton underscore Junction. I don't think I did. Yeah, these should be dash. But that's why these are all together. Oh shit. There we go. Yeah, and here we have the undisturbed. So what they started doing when they were taking Dalton Junction apart was that this part here got turned into a separate interlocking, and then it was pretty much left with just these those 1, 2, 3 diamonds, and then these 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they just started hacking off bits and pieces. There it is. I think that all of these, the layout is still kind of the same. In fact, we can go take a look. It goes over there, and then it goes over there, and there's Dalton Junction. Towers. No, that's just a trailer. It's been demolished here. Yeah, so all these, 4, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So 11 diamonds. But back in the day, there were just scads of diamonds. As you can see, there's a right of way there that cuts straight across and all sorts of stuff. But yes, there's a new. This is its own interlocking in there, and that used to be part of Dalton. They just did a lot of stuff. Now, I'm going to keep going with this. Good thing I was sitting track side. I mean, I kind of picked the right side of the correct side of the train to be on for the majority of the trip. Being sandwiched into, I think it was someone that looks like a bag lady. Oh God, it was terrible. Other people on the train, as I like to say, it was almost just like, people, like the no-fly list, and oh my God, it was just like, why are all these people on the train? A lot of crying kids. When I was up there, they had track workers out. They were clearly engaged in redoing the interlocking or maintaining it. And there were all these IHB like signal cabinets, and some of them were open. And I just really should have had the. I didn't want. I just gotten on the scene, and I didn't want to like announce myself and bug these guys, and then tell them to have them tell me to like, oh, you can't take pictures here type of thing. I wanted to kind of but I really should have, at least when leaving, gone up and tried to get some photos, like say, hey, can I get a picture? Like had the relay cabinets open. It was pretty neat, but I had good reasons not to. That's just the environment we live in, where you have to give up photo opportunities, because if you go and approach people and ask you to take pictures and they tell you no, well, then they're on to you, Here we are crossing the Metro Electric at Kensington. I think that's Kensington. Yep, wow. Wait, no, that's, yeah, it's at the extended Kensington interlocking. Huh, didn't realize it went in that way. Hope I'm making better time. A lot going on. I'm going to make a square aspect ratio to cut off all that useless sky. Gunk. I do have the ability to find out what switches those are. Oh, man. Why do I do this? Oh, why do I do this? Kensington. There it is. And that would be the south end, 39 and 41 switches. And that's how you properly label a photo. Oh, yeah, this was cool. So here we are at the old new, or is it the new old? No, it would be the new old CP519, which had been very recently done up by Conrail, with new everything, and then NS was like, that's not new enough, and they came in with whatever they, with their Darth Vaders and new masts, completely new masts. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I can't crop this because I've got this Heritage baggage car 1731. This was, I think we were stopped waiting for this dude to clear. This is obviously probably the Lakeshore 1731 95 195. As much as I hate having that thing, I'm pretty sure I took this. Yeah, we were waiting, and I was able to get some, like the guy let me get some window shots out the openable. This had to have come out a window, but I wasn't in a sleeper, so I'm not sure how I got this photo. The Amfleet 2s used to have windows that could open. Maybe that was it, but I don't know. Maybe the guy had the door open. This is clearly not. This is clearly a clear photo. $31 plus 195 plus 95 plus CP 519. Yeah, I think we're waiting for the Lakeshore. This is the summer, so it was, it's not. It does. We weren't getting in at like noon. Yeah, here we go. Oh, there's another Heritage car. Wow. I wonder what the heck that was. Oh, diner. That's got to be, I don't know what, no. Might have been a 10-6 sleeper. Who knows? Yeah, this is clearly me taking a picture out the door or window or something. They locked, they've sealed they screwed tight the windows on the Amfleet 2s. It used to be a thing that you needed to open a window on the long distance type trains to do conductor stuff. And up through about the mid 2000s, you could still pull the windows down. But at some point, you couldn't. When I did a 2006 trip on the Cardinal, I think you still could. So maybe I had a window down. I don't remember doing it though. I think it was already open. This would have been train 51. There we go. The track we're on is also used by Metra. And here we have our new old CP509 signal bridge. CP519, I mean. 509 is the whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, I'm sure a crew guy was letting me do that because we were stopped waiting. I keep calling it CP519. I don't think it is CP519. I think it's CP something else. Oh, drat. I closed the Dearborn Division one because I didn't think I'd need it. Come on. Belt, CP, blah, 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 Wayne Junction, Ypsilanti, CP1, come on, 513, Inglewood, 58. See, I knew I was always like a weird off by one error. I don't know why I would call that CP519. CP518. All right, man, I am not making great progress today. Because I got a little bit of overtime to do. All right, let's see what's up in the chat. Thank you for all watching. Sorry this is taking a while. Yeah, I mean that's the main thing. It's Virginia needs to pay for that connection at Charlottesville, but that doesn't really help Virginia service trains. It just helps the Cardinal. That's cheap fix though. And then CSX just couldn't be bothered at maintaining the maintaining that whole the 100-something miles of the Mon and sub at Class 4. Class 3 is really it's 60 miles an hour, but it's really not a lot of money. I guess I guess there was a conga line that day, because we're getting passed by a Michigan service train. Sometimes you get weird backups coming into Chicago. Like you'll have just a parade of trains, maybe a drawbridge opened, and then as soon as that lets loose, you're gonna have like the Michigan, you have the Detroit train, the Grand Rapids train. They all got to get to Chicago in time for whatever, so they all just sort of, and then the Lake Shore and the Cap sort of get there. So you'll just see this giant conga line of long distance and Michigan stuff sort of arrive all at the same time. I could be looking to see like where I need to be on this. Two 2004. More 2004. Ray Street. There it is. Huh, I got it right back in the day. See, this is when I was starting to put in proper labels and things. Yep, nice cabbage car. This is likely still in service, although I'm not sure they're still using the cabbage cars. I don't think they're using the cabbage cars on those Michigan trains. Maybe they are. I don't know. Ooh, it's heritage painted too. Yeah, Amtrak was doing its heritage paint scheme a lot earlier than people thought. God damn it, I keep hitting the help fucking F1. There we go. My train was clearly pacing this this Wolverine service. Cut off as much as I can. There we go. What would I have called that back in the day? Okay, this is just wasn't quite doing the proper thing, but close enough. Maybe a clarify might benefit it just a bit. Yeah, maybe it does. Yeah, maybe I was using that clarify filter a lot back in the day just because I was constantly dealing with shooting through grimy Amtrak windows. I wonder what quality I had these there. All right. More rad. Yeah, see, just way less. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Just gonna try to speed through some of this stuff that's yeah, I don't know. I can't actually remember if they're no, sorry. What? Yeah, I don't know if they're still using the cab cars. I haven't seen them when I was there because they got the Chargers now, so they might be running them just back to front. But when I was there, yeah, here we got the new. This was like when Comiskey Park was actually still new. When the new Comiskey Park was still new. I never know how to spell that. There it is. Guaranteed. You fucking kidding me? They call it guaranteed rate field? What? Cities need to have a veto on bad stadium names. That's abysmal. Oops. I'm saving these a little bit big, I think. Yeah. So I saw this, and the good news is I can go to this guy. I'm pretty sure somewhere I could have sworn that I saw the I could have sworn I had the interlock, that intermediate. It's like the old intermediate. Now they did replace it though with a new one. Is this it? This is it. 518. What milepost is 21st Street at? Sheet 81. Anyway, sorry. This would be probably like 520. Pretty sure that's, I can use my same. So it's past Comiskey. It would be somewhere. There's the signal bridge as it stands today. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the old bridge has clearly been removed. I don't know when it would have been there, and I have no idea how to even attempt to see it. All right. That still looks a little tilty. Probably because of that chimney over there. There it goes. Sorry about that. I every so often I get curveball hard problems. Here we are coming into 21st Street. There's a green clear signal at the. So I gotta go pull up relevant information. This was right after the 21st Street Tower was closed. And they had been starting in the resignaling. And fortunately I do have an interlocking chart for that. Here it is. Amtrak, something in Chicago. Here we go. I have the whatchamacallit chart. So that would be the 805 and 804N or the, so this gives me all the stuff. So that's like the 803N signal right there off of N. Metro Runner, that'd be 806N. So that's 806N right there. Metro has this weird track that only goes between like CP58, it's like NS at that one little track there. That's like a Metro track. So it's sandwiched between like Norfolk Southern, Intermodal Yard, 3 mains on the Chicago line, and then this one little Metro track. So Metro trains will come off that, run on its Metro track, then have to cross back into NS control at CP518, then they're back onto Metro. It's just it seems pointless. So there's the little the signal bridge. That's still there. That we are looking at is the 806N, and then the bracket. So I'm going to narrow this up, drop that down a little. Got to straighten it just a tad, brighten, color correct, sharpen it up. Oops, I'm gonna do a final sharpen. Now, wasn't that supposed to be green there? I guess not. So this is, yeah, Amtrak, because the tower is closed. 21st Street, 806 N close plus NB bracket. That bracket had been there for some time. All right, finishing up here. This would be the 805 switch. This is when Amtrak was replacing its B&O CPL styles they put in at Chicago for fun reason. I'm not going to complain about that. But they then replaced them with like single target LED searchlights, which is something else I really wish railroads had gone with. I think it's a great solution to all the problems. But I just don't know why they never went with the LED searchlights. The UK, of all places, is big on those. So this is it's the 803N, and then plus replacement. Pop up the color a bit on this. Saturate that. There we go. Why did I think that signal was green? Huh. Very strange. I was like, oh, that's clearly green for the whatchamacallit. Geez, I'm like seeing things. Yeah, I always have a conundrum of when a tower is closed, do you keep, referring to the interlocking as, because I have a separate naming thing for towers as opposed to, those sort of controlled interlockings. Sometimes if it's completely re-signaled and altered, I'll switch it back to like the interlocking designation as opposed to a tower designation. But sometimes I keep the tower one. In this case, it was altered so much that I switched between the Amtrak days and the pre-Amtrak days. So this is right after 21st Street was closed. They remote controlled it for a while. Maybe it was still open, but they had re-signaled it because for a while 21st Street had gained control of Clara Street in New Orleans. So that operator 21st Street had a video display controlling a thing in New Orleans. It was like, what employee can we give this job to? And then they went with the whole thing of having train directors at controlling the whole terminal and the Michigan line, which let them close Drawbridge Tower in Michigan City. Yeah, Michigan City, because that previously had CTC control over the Amtrak, or what Cardinal would call the Amtrak line. So you can it was still air. So 21st Street, even after it was closed and had its, CPL dwarfs taken out, it still had air switches for a while, and then those vanished one day. Oh, color balance. It doesn't help a lot. I'm gonna have to really work some magic here. This is kind of backlit. Hey, got the red up. This would be the 809. It's sort of one of the leads for the yard there. 21st Street, 809N. Oh, I didn't resize it. And here we have the CN route. Again, you have your airline there, signals down there, and this is where they CN decided to do its nice cost savings, and they chopped the second track, severely reducing capacity in the area. Ugh. Huh, that got it back pretty well. And that is the 877 switch. That's of course, the orange line flying up over there. If you ever want to see 21st Street, your probably best view is from the orange line. We are almost done for tonight. Sorry for the very, 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 very long stream. Boy, it's a long stream. But I'm down to my last 7, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow. So there's the old 21st Street Tower, also demolished. That relay hut had been there for some time, so I'm thinking that there's something going on there. You know, I knew that the Model 14 was in there. You could see it as you went by, but that relay hut had been there for a very long time. So it's not like, oh, the relay hut appeared and then whatever. So these are going to be, so just whoever is watching right now, just FYI, these streams are going to go on tonight. Well, now, tomorrow, Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, and Wednesday to Thanksgiving Day. I do not. That is my window to try to get this done right now. I really don't like that color balance. If I do not finish in that period, I will. There it goes. I will probably do the last bit the following Friday to Saturday, or possibly Saturday to Sunday of the next week. So this is where I'll go back to, you know, gonna go to towers 2. So this is pre tower closure. There's, you know, this is what it looked like. It was still using new acros. Amtrak converted to a hybrid of what do you call it, signaling? Route signaling at some point. This is, you know, when I was on I gotta do those. I don't know why. Maybe I have done those. I thought I did. That was my whatever trip. Here we go. 21st Street. No, that's not the one. It's a good picture of it. Yeah, it's gone. Here it is. Oh, did I cut? Oh, it looks like I cut something off there that I shouldn't have. Ah, crud. Oh, I lost it in the straighten. Ugh. I guess there's not much I can really do. That's an important piece of kit to keep there. Ugh. Note that the old lever numbers are, they just added an 8, so that would have been the 41 switch. If you go here to the thing, so this is 852, 8 this, 8 that, blah, 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 blah. I'm pretty sure that at least as the switches are concerned, if we head to this Dearborn division. Oh, no, wait. Nah, I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, 749. Yeah, I guess that they didn't just add an 8 to everything. So, all right, I tried. Sometimes Amtrak, they did that at Penn Station. They just added prefixes to the old lever numbers. The reason I didn't care so much is because I still had this photo here, which I think it was just the one I used for the tower. Where is that? Not that one. That's the one. Yeah, this is what I used for my the headline picture for the tower. Oops. It's damn. Yeah, again, it's a shame that this was demolished. I got a surprising number of photos of it. Usually by the time I was going to Chicago, maybe I was just by a door or something. I don't know. I'm trying to not overly process these. There we go. Oops. Bit better then. I love all these towers in Chicago. I seem to have escape ladders out the windows. Maybe that's a city building code thing. Thought. Almost done. So. Yeah, I'm really, really puzzled if I should keep this as Amtrak 21st Street stuff or... See, I did this as 21st, probably because it was still... Tower was there. Nah, I'll go through after this is all done and deal with that. Ugh. And got the color balance. There it goes. Got rid of the red. Almost done. Sorry. It's running out of things to say here. Just trying to power through. Yeah. So I know that at some point I know that I went past 21st Street and I was actually able to see in the front and I could see the model board inside. It's sort of a dusk night kind of thing. I don't know when that was, but I do remember it pretty distinctly that I was able to do that there. Just gotta keep. There it is. Ugh. Didn't do a good job that one. Oh, and I put an apostrophe S in that file name. Ooh, that's terrible. Why did I do that? Got it. Yeah, it's a shame they demolished it. I mean, I guess if it's an urban thing near a park and looked kind of ratty. Probably some idiot in the city was telling them to get rid of it. Huh, nice bridge plaque there. Wonder if I can read it. It looks like it's just the builder's plate, 1933. Pretty neat. I guess that's probably when they built the tower. Does this tell me? Alton, 93. I can't really see it. And the boats. Did I have? There we go. Yeah, that bridge tends to go up and down a lot. So technically, this is not 21st Street. It's the South Branch Bridge. Don't think that was really a distinction worth a difference at this point. But this is going to be the last picture. When we and somehow I took no photos between like now and then when I was leaving on the other train, so that was weird. But I was highly I was at this whole trip. I was at a severe crunch for what I will say memory card space. So but I just internalized that. Anyway, thank you very much. That's it. Let's see if we got any questions in the chat. There we go. Yep. Anyway, thank you guys for all watching. Yes. The railroads pick signals and stuff for a variety of reasons. Amtrak in Chicago was, it was done on a speed system based on its connections with Conrail and PRR and whatever. But I think that because most of the railroads feeding into it were using route coming off the BNSF Metra coming in from the north, that they just went with a route. They don't have a lot of trackage, so they just went with like diverging. It's all slow speed anyway, so they just went with something so that all the Metra commuter guys coming in off of BNSF really didn't have to learn all of the NORAC speed systems. If you go, where do I have these? Hold on. I got these up. No, not there. Not there. Yeah, here. Signal. So here's the Amtrak Chicago terminal. It wasn't complicated. They had all this stuff, but it's like clear, advanced approach. It's just like a subset of NORAC. It's not very complicated, but it still required crews to learn like a different thing. So they just went with this. They just went to a straight up diverging system. I can pull that up here in the Chicago terminal timetable. This is 2005. This is probably after they just cut in 21st Street. May 2nd, yeah, this is when they would have just cut in. I did this trip in July, so all these signals are brand new. And they should have here are the new signal rules. Oh no, sorry, this is the old signal rules. My bad. Sometime they switched it to a whatchamacallit system. I wonder if 21st Street was still open. Huh, looks like it still was. There's a lot of neat. There's a lot of weird stuff. There's like it's not just passenger because you do have freight trains that have to cross the South Branch Bridge and get onto BNSF. So Amtrak does have to deal with a surprising amount of freight traffic in their their little tiny Chicago terminal zone. Departures. All right, I'm just wasting time here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on same time tomorrow, 10 o'clock. And Yeah, that should be it. And like I said, so next time we're going to be heading out of Chicago, heading down towards Springfield on the Alton, and I'll try to make that interesting for you all. Let me check if anybody has any questions. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Harbor Belt still uses speed based on the New York Central. But yeah, they just wanted to. I think Amtrak just wanted, like even if they have to train other people, if they're not familiar with it, then they're failing the tests. Then they got to retake the tests. They don't have a lot of signals. It's not a main line. They just need basic stuff. Speed through the whole thing is like 15 miles an hour. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much.